Well, let's talk about those adults in Washington. Majority Leader John Boehner announced a House vote tomorrow on a plan that would tie government funding to stripping all funding for Obamacare. The chances of it making its way out of the Senate, of course, slim to none, and that's put Republican lawmakers in both chambers at odds with each other. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas initially put pressure on his colleagues in the House, saying in part, Harry Reid will no doubt try to strip the defund language from the continuing resolution, and right now he likely has the votes to do so. At that point, House Republicans must stand firm. But Republicans in the House shot back at Cruz for setting them up to take the blame. Congressman Tim Griffin tweeting, so far, Sens are good at getting Facebook likes and town halls, not much else. Do something, Senate Republicans he's talking about there. Last night, Republican Congressman Mick Mulvaney put equal blame on the Senate's shoulders for how this is all playing out.
Nobody votes to shut the government down. That's not how it works. They'll pass something next week. It'll take them for some reason a week to get to whatever we pass this week, and they'll send it back to us. And they will either accept it or send it back to them. But no one's going to vote to shut the government down. So the question is, if we get to this last part of this back and forth, and we send them something and say, look, we agree on everything except Obamacare, Senate, here you go, and they send it back and say, no, we don't agree on Obamacare, they send it back to us, who's shutting the government down? You could make as much a strong of argument that it's the Senate shutting it down as we are. That's not the right discussion to be having. The right discussion to be having is, how can we compromise? How can we find a middle ground between what the House is going to do tomorrow and the Senate will do next week that allows the government to stay open?
Nicole, I could watch Harold's brain trying to process the logic of that argument right there. He's still working on it.
Still looking for the adults.
Walk us through this a little bit. What exactly, John Boehner obviously made a conscious decision to side with the conservatives in his party and go the route of perhaps forcing a government shutdown to defund Obamacare. What's the strategy here?
Well, I want to go back to the conversation about adults. You have young children, you have 4 children, you're about to have young children. I have a 2-year-old. And sometimes when he's on his scooter, he wants to cross the street even when the light is red on Central Park West. Cars move very fast. It is your job as the parent to hold the child in the scooter from running into traffic because he would get squished. It is the job of the adults in the Republican Party to tell there is grassroots support in this country among Republicans, among conservatives, among Tea Party members to do this. There are people that think the law really is a violation of this sort of code with the government.
The
great overreach. The health care law. Obama's health care law is incredibly unpopular. So Ted Cruz is responding to what is a genuine sentiment out there. However, when Republicans run into the street, despite the fact that there's a flashing red light, they're going to get hit by the cars and killed. So this is stupid politically. This is stupid at a policy level because, as the great Charles Krauthammer said, it has no chance of succeeding. This is Obama's health care law, is Obama's signature domestic policy achievement. So they're going to fail. So we are at a moment where, despite what the great David Ignatius says, most of the country is pretty disillusioned with President Obama's leadership on the world stage. A majority of Americans do not like his signature domestic achievement, which is the health care law. We're actually at a moment as Republicans where even Bernie Sanders has described our party as on the offense. And now we are going to let our party run into moving traffic against a red light.